You know what we haven't talked about, Colin?
A lot of things.
Let's talk about the DNC chair race.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm doing the same thing Colin did to me earlier, and I surprised him with a topic that he had no idea I was bringing up.
Yeah, I mean, no one's covering it.
Yeah, nobody at all, except for, the Young Turks are doing a little bit. Kyle at Secular Talk is doing a little bit.
Is he?
Yeah, he's done a little bit on it. At least he has, tweeted and stuff. Jimmy Dore has done a lot in the Humanist Report. They're doing some good work on it, too. But I kind of like to put in our 2 cents in the whole matter.
Yeah, let's do it.
So...
There's 2 main guys.
3 now. I think it's important to talk about all 3.
Who's the third?
It depends. Who are you omitting?
Well, I'm thinking Ellison and the former Labor Secretary, whose name escapes me.
Perez.
Okay,
and then there's also Sam Ronan, the wild card.
I don't think he has any chance to get the votes. Honestly,
let's cover him. Let's cover him real quickly. Let's just cover all 3 of them. So Perez,
Sam, if you're out there, love you, doing great work. But I don't think he's. He entered late. He's just. I don't think he's going to be able to get there.
So
I wish he could. I really wish he could. But
so I'd like to talk about why there's hope. But let's start with Perez. So Perez is the
flailing. He is flailing.
Perez is the establishment frontrunner, the person that is most like the Hillary Clinton posse. Now, an important thing to note is that while he's all for taking corporate money, he does want to reform the superdelegate process and most likely get rid of superdelegates altogether. That's really important to know because that's one of the biggest issues I think that are happening right now with the Democratic Party.
The superdelegates are a mess.
Yeah, and without the superdelegates, it's likely that Bernie Sanders would have been the nominee and would be the president right now.
Yeah, I mean, there was other things that went into it, but
yeah, a lot of other things. But I think the superdelegates were really where he was done in. Second off, there's Keith Ellison.
Yep. The
actual probable frontrunner, in my opinion. Tom Perez seems like he's talking a bigger game than...
Perez, in just the last couple days, has kind of imploded.
Yeah. But he'll still say he's the frontrunner with 220 of the 263, I think it is. I'm really not sure.
And there's no evidence that he has near that many votes.
Yeah. Keith Ellison has been backed by Bernie Sanders. He is much more progressive.
Okay, I just want to say something. The way it looks currently, it doesn't look like anyone's going to get the votes that they need to win.
Which is super interesting, and that's why I think Sam Ronan has a chance.
Okay. Well.
Because I'll explain the process if...
I'm not super aware of it. So.
Well, I'll explain it to you then, too. But Keith Ellison, backed by Bernie Sanders, a lot more progressive, talks about taking money out of the DNC from big corporate donors, but hasn't officially raised his hand and said, I promise that I will do this.
Yeah.
And then we have Sam Ronan, who is just the best.
He is pretty fucking great.
I implore the 7 to 8 people that will eventually watch this to go to Twitter and read tweets from @Ronan for DNC.
Yeah.
Go on his website, ronanfordnc.org. Look at all that stuff because he's just great. He is one of us through and through. He's a
progressive.
He's a millennial progressive.
He is a millennial progressive. Now, okay. So I like Sam Ronan. I think he's great. I don't necessarily want him as the head of the DNC.
Okay, this is interesting.
Because he doesn't have a lot of experience.
That's true.
He doesn't know, he hasn't run campaigns before and everything. And that's important. I think he should definitely be super high in the DNC. I don't think being the chair of the DNC.
So
I don't think he's quite ready for that yet.
So your your best possible solution, if I may assume, is an Ellison victory, but Ronan is hired in at a position.
If I may, that's what it looks like my best would be. But if you recall, on January 20th, there was a thing going around. I think you know what I'm about to say.
I
remember. Wait, there's Bernie with a steel chair.
Yep, Bernie with a steel chair. Now, obviously, Bernie Sanders is not even running for head of the DNC.
Look, you asked for my best case scenario. That is my best case scenario. Bernie
Fine.
with a steel chair.
Sure. Okay. So Bernie Sanders, your best case scenario, but your likely best case scenario, the best case scenario that might actually happen is Ellison, but Sam Ronan is hired and he's put in a spot of influence.
He's either put in a spot of influence in the DNC, or alternatively, he's put in a spot of influence in the Justice Democrats.
I would take that as well. However,
and he has expressed interest in joining the Justice Democrats if he doesn't win.
However, I got a little more of a fuck it in this one. I say let the dude win, right? Because he seems smart enough to surround himself with people that might know a little bit more about. What's going on.
He definitely seems like. I'm not saying that I don't think he could handle it. I'm just saying that from not even really involved in the DNC to chair is a big step.
It's a big step. However,
and look, I don't like the establishment, and if Sam Ronan wins, I will throw a fucking party.
Deal. I'm coming to that party.
All right.
I'm holding you to it.
You'd be probably one of like
four. There'd be
four people that I invited.
You can see your fiance coming, and you probably have a friend somewhere. I'm bringing like 50 people though. You don't even know. We're partying.
I can deal.
But so here's so I say fuck it. Let's just have Sam Ronan. He'll surround himself with people that more understand how to run campaigns.
He will bring a sledgehammer to the DNC, which is something that I think needs to happen.
Now,
he's also the only one who's pledged to get money out of politics and not take corporate money, which is huge.
And you can get me on air. I currently spend $10 on YouTube Red so that I can watch my videos without ads. I will spend $10 every month to support the DNC, only if Sam Ronan is elected. There you go. I'm sure I can get other people in on that too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure people will sign on to that.
I'm thinking that he would get a lot of grassroots support in the same way that Bernie did. Here's how he might win, and you might find this interesting. So you have to get to a certain vote threshold, which is 50% of the available votes, which I think is somewhere around 260. I think
it's like 240. I don't know.
It's something like that. I can't tell you the number off the top of my head, and I don't feel like Google, so you have to get 50% of the vote. If nobody gets 50% of the vote, second round of voting, if nobody gets it again, they drop the people with the tied least amount of votes off. So, right? So if a whole bunch of people get 0 votes, they get dropped out.
Mm-hmm.
Another round of voting. Drop off again for the least amount, and if there's a tie. Sam Ronan is going to get at least 1 vote in the first round. He'll probably get more than 1, in fact, because there are a lot of progressives in the actual DNC. It's kind of awesome. So he's going to get some votes, and he's going to make it through a lot of rounds. Now, if Ellison clears 50% first round, obviously he wins. Mm-hmm. That's, I think, the second most likely thing is that Ellison can get the required 50%, win in the first round, and just be over with it. I think people will probably stick to their votes until they realize that Ellison is pulling ahead a little bit. And then those votes are either going to go to... the Perez votes will either go to Ellison, or if people don't like Ellison, they'll have to go somewhere else. That's how I think Ronan wins. Long shot.
Definitely a long shot.
But it could happen. And I just want everybody to not lose the faith just yet.
All right. So...
That's important. So yeah, I think it's really interesting. I think there's been some interesting stories, like Ellison and Perez having a dinner with all the Perez staffers in the restaurant.
That was weird.
Well, I think Perez is
Scared.
realizing he's gonna lose and trying to figure out how to drum up support. I think maybe
Like going to his main competition.
I think either that or he might be withdrawing his name in the next couple of days because he knows he's gonna lose, and he was discussing that with Ellison, trying to make some deals and some plans because if Perez drops out, Ellison wins.
Yeah,
it's just gonna happen.
That's how that goes.
That's the way the world works, friends. But I think maybe they were discussing deals that Perez might drop out, or maybe Perez was trying to get Ellison to drop out, but commit to some things. Something along those lines. There's a lot of intrigue going to that dinner, and they sat at a window, so they wanted to be seen.
Yeah, or they just
are dumb.
weren't concerned about being seen.
Well, they should be concerned about.
Maybe they want us to talk about it.
Maybe they want us, me and you specifically, to talk about it.
Yeah, I bet they were talking. They're like,
those bearded bards, man.
I wonder if that Alex and Colin, if they're gonna hear about this. Get all that YouTube attention with their 8 views video.
We're dumb. We're just really not smart sometimes. Anyhow, we just wanted to keep you updated on that. It's something that I've been following super closely. I know you haven't quite as much.
Not as much, but
yeah, go look up Sam Ronan. You can call the people that are voting and express your support for him.
Be like, yo, running for DNC.
Running for DNC. So I've done that. I'd highly suggest you do that as well, because he will align most with your progressive sympathies.
Yeah, I mean, again,
he's a good dude.
Again, I fully support Ronan. I think he would do a fine job. I'm just nervous because, I mean, look, we got a president right now that had no experience. And Ronan, he's got more experience than Trump, but he still doesn't have much. And so, one or two things can happen. It either go great, and he would redirect the party and start winning everything again, or something comes up, he doesn't know how to deal with it, and disaster strikes.
I mean, just imagine, though, he would immediately align the Democrats with the Justice Democrats because they have the same platform, basically.
Yeah.
All of the DNC's actual money would start getting diverted to both the state parties and to running those Justice Democrats. We would get actual progressives in Congress, and so long as they could find people to help them run campaigns. I don't know, maybe Bernie Sanders, that guy that we all love so much.
You know, you're selling me more on this, and it's not because you said the Magic Bernie.
That's just became a thing. The Magic Bernie.
I was gonna say the magic word, but then I'm like, I mean that's too vague. It's Bernie. Yeah, I think he could surround himself with.
There's people that would be willing to help. I mean, he could get Jimmy Dore, Kyle Kalinske, and Cenk Uygur to help him run these things, and even though they also have no experience.
Well, I mean, they have degrees in appropriate fields.
And life experience in rallying people, especially. I mean, shoot, TYT Go effort has raised, I think, $1.25 million so far.
Is it up to 1.25?
Yeah, it's right
Last I
around
checked,
there.
it was the 1.2. So
I think yesterday with the 15-year anniversary was really good for it. I think it's up past 1.25 million. But anyway, they've got a lot of like popular support things, and they would offer their help, I'm assuming.
I mean,
also,
I don't know if they'd just be like, call up Sam Ronan, like, yeah, we can help you, but
I'm sure they would do something along those lines.
Maybe through the Justice Democrats, like Justice Democrats, like sending out a tweet like, hey, we're here, we support Ronan. And
I love how we've just it's not a call anymore, it's a tweet.
It's a tweet.
Just everything runs on tweets.
It's 2017.
Everything runs on tweets.
The president runs on tweets.
Okay, but that's because he doesn't think in more than 140 characters.
It's true. I only made a Twitter like right before we started making videos. And I gotta say, it is hard to keep my stuff to 140 characters.
Yeah, it's really... That's another video entirely. Maybe we'll diagnose Twitter and try to help it.
Twitter.
Tweets, dude.
Like, up that limit, man.
Anyway, that's what I wanted to say about the DNC. You guys have a real nice day.
Running for DNC.
Running for DNC.